used to look into my father's eyes. In a happy home, I was the king, I had a golden throne. Those days are gone, now the memories on the wall. I hear the songs.
Bonjour, good evening, and welcome to Walter Distance Education. My name is Greg Weaver. This is ENG4E, Grade 12 Workplace English. I'd like to welcome everyone listening across the north today at home, your learning center, or on Bell Expressview. To call in and join our class, you can call 1-800-465-7144 or 737-4017 or 2983 from the Sioux local or Lac-Seul or Dryden areas. I'd like to welcome everyone back today. This is our third class of the week, and a quick reminder, we do have a makeup class scheduled for 10 o'clock on Friday morning, 11 o'clock Eastern. And we will be finishing off Unit 4 or Unit 3 and starting Unit 4 during that class. What we're doing today is we are going to try and finish off Key Question 44 from Lesson 14. And then we are going to start looking at Lesson 15. Now, what we're doing now, the storyboard for Key Question 44 is the last assignment that focuses just on the movie. When we look at Lesson 15, we are going to be looking at the movie and the novel combined. So that's what we're looking at for that one. So what we're looking at for Key Question 44 is you're creating a storyboard for a new scene that you would write for the movie. What you would include. So easiest way to do this one is to look at what you just wrote for Key Question 43 and the journal response, or not sure journal response, the essay you wrote with that about the 3 things you'd like to see changed. Think about which one of those would be the easiest thing to produce in one continuous scene, one continuous block of the movie. So one that I chose to do my example on is looking at having Edward and Jacob get into a physical fight over Bella. That's what forced her to choose. So I first starting off looking at page 36, looking at number 2. And in this one, you have to do a quick outline just to get your ideas clear on what you're going to be writing on in this first assignment. As we worked through that yesterday, you can see that up in red. The next, you have to create your dialogue. And that's what we're going to start with next. So you're going to create the dialogue for the movie, for that scene. Write down the lines that each character is going to say and who they're going to say it to. We'll hand this in. So we'll start with that today. Let's open up a new Word window here. And so we have Edward, Jacob, and Bella. So just creating dialogue. So start with Jacob. He's going to say, You have to kill her, don't you? To turn her into one of you, you will have to kill her. Now, Edward needs to respond to that. No, we're not looking at anything of where they're going to be standing. It's just the actual dialogue. Seem like it's her choice what she does. I can't control her emotions or her heart. She must be turned She's not growing any older. Jacob. Should say he's gonna say, but you won't stop her, will you? You have wanted this all along. You can't stand the thought of her being with me. Now, the dialogue doesn't need to be that long. So let's finish typing this line. Well, given both characters 2 lines. Doesn't have to be that long. So Edward's going to say, I couldn't stop her, even if I wanted to. She has made her choice, and you have to respect it. Respect it? You're telling me that you had no impact or influence on her decision? I don't believe it. So Edward will go and say, I don't care what you believe. She has made her choice, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Jacob can say, oh, there is something I can do. Did make you feel about it, though. And then he's going to punch him. And that's what the fight's going to start. Then we'll have Bella will wake up and hear that. And she'll go, stop. Stop fighting with me. Jacob made my choice. I'm going to be with Edward. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Jake can say, as you can say, but I don't have to stand here and like it. And then we'll have him. He'll run off. So that's my script. Let me save this. We have it. We'll jump back into our unit here. So we have our script done, our dialogue. Now create your storyboard. The minimum length is 6 cells or panels. However, there's no maximum. Your images can be as elaborate or as simple as you want. Write the dialogue that occurs in the cell below it. Copy the template into your notes and complete and submit this, your organizer from Unit 2, and your dialogue from Unit 3 for your marks. So this organizer here only has 4 cells on it. You can use something like this, or you can change it around. And you can make it, it's up to you how you want to make it look like. So I'm going to start doing our example here, but I'm not going to finish it because I want to just get you started and show you how you can start doing your storyboard, and then we'll leave it up to you to finish. So I want to get started with lesson 15 tonight as well, and then we can look at that. Hopefully work on that and get that finished tomorrow. We're going to start lesson 16 on Friday. And then we can get everything finished off for next week. So the example that I'm looking here looks like this. So you see it's a bit different from this because I didn't include lines for dialogue. Now you have to include the dialogue. However, with my example here, because I'm just trying to show you what it looks like, I'm going to number all of these lines of dialogue and write those numbers in afterwards. We have, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 7 lines of dialogue. Actually, sorry. Made a mistake here, 1 second. There we go. So we have all these lines here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just number them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we have 9 lines of dialogue. So we have to start with our scene. So this is our story we're going to start with. Now, remember how I said it doesn't have to be amazing drawings. I mean that because I am horrible with drawing and art. That's why I joke. It's why I teach English and not art here at WASA. But I just want you to complete this assignment. So we're going to do stick figures. So we're going to start off with a little tent here, and we'll have Bella lying in the tent sleeping. So that is going to be a little B for Bella. So Bella's always going to be in red. Edward is going to be in green. So that's Edward. He's always going to be in green. Bella's in red. And we'll have Jacob here. And that's Jacob. So he's in blue. So all my characters are going to be color-coded. That way it's easy to tell exactly who is who. So we have these two. And they're going to be standing there. They're both going to be looking at the tent where Bella is sleeping. So that's the first scene. There's no dialogue. It's just them sitting there looking. And then we're going to have Edward right there. And we'll have Jacob right there. And they're going to be looking at each other. And then we're going to have Jacob say line number 1. So that's our first dialogue line. And that dialogue line is, you know you're going to have to kill her, don't you? To turn her into one of you, you'll have to kill her. So that's our first one right there. Now next we're going to have Edward. He's going to stand here. We're going to see just a little bit of the tent in the background. And we'll have Jacob standing right here. We're going to have Jacob looking at Edward. And Edward's going to be looking at the tent. And then we're going to get our line. He's going to say the second line. And that line is, it's her choice. Can't control emotions and hearts can't win older. So if that's our next line, then we have our next one here. And this is going to be the exact same. So we're going to take this exact same scene and put it in this one as well. So we're going to have the tent over here. You have Jacob, so Edward, sorry, and you have Jacob. So this time, he's going to look at him and look at each other. And you'll have line 3 and then line 4. And that is, you won't stop her and you couldn't have ever wanted to. So our next thing is going to just focus in just on Jacob. So you're going to see Jacob seeing just his head. He's going to be upset and he's going to be like really angry. So red cheeks, so he's kind of angry. And we'll get rid of this little frown and make this frown a straight line. So he's like, and that's where we'll get the 5th line where he's like, stop it. Respect it. You tell me you got respect anything care. And next we'll have Edward. Let's do the exact same thing except with Edward over here. We'll have Edward. He's also going to be getting angry. And he's going to say his line here. line 6. And then it keeps going on and on like that. So that's line 6. So we scroll down a bit here. We're going to have line 7, and then they're going to start fighting. So we're going to have go a bit wider, so you're going to see the tent again. And then you'll have one here, and you'll have one here. Then you get then you'll get line 7. Well, they can do. Over here, you're going to have so long arms here and long arms here to show that they're fighting. And the tent, you're going to have, see the tent? You're going to see Bella sit up and start walking this way. She's going to start walking towards the fight. And then you'll get her in between them. And then you'll get Bella's line, which is line 8. And then you'll get line 9. And then you'll have him, we'll put it down, he's going to go this way and disappear. So that's my storyboard. You see, it's nothing amazing. It's nothing very spectacular. But that is just what you have to do for this. So you hand in your completed storyboard. So you see this one is 9 panels or 9 cells. It could be 10 if I wanted to show Jacob changing into a werewolf and running off. I could make it 10. And the dialogue is right there. So you have to hand in your completed storyboard with your dialogue. I prefer if it's written like your unit and written underneath. That's the best way to do it. If you have to do it like I did, make sure it's very clear what emotions are being said, as well as the dialogue itself. And then this question 2, which is the just organizing your thoughts. You want to get all of that handed in together for this key question 44. So I'm going to give it a break, give you a chance to get started with this. If you do have any questions, we'll come back in about 5 minutes, give you a chance to get started and see if you can get your thoughts going. If you have any questions, you can always ask me and let me know what you're thinking. But we'll take a bit of a break, and we'll come back in, let's say, about 5 minutes or so. So I'll talk to you then.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. see the paper laying on the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walked on up to the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune, and I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there, I'll care in the world. See the smile waiting in the kitchen, food cooking on the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Here we go. If I listened long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe that it's all true. Knowing that you lied, straight-faced, while I cried. Still I look to find a reason to believe. Someone like you makes it hard to live without somebody else. Someone like you makes it easy to give. Never think about myself. If I gave you time to change my mind, I tried to leave all the past behind. Knowing that you lied, straight-faced, while I cry. Still I look to find a reason to believe. It easy to live without somebody else. Someone like you makes it hard to give. Never think about myself. If I listened long enough to you, I'd find a way find a reason to believe. Still I look to find a reason to believe. One more time. Still I look to find a reason to believe.
And we are back when a chance to get started with their storyboard. If you do have any questions, you're not quite sure if you're if you're on the right track or not, be sure to let me know, text, email, phone, or Facebook, or different ways you can get a hold of me, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that people have. If you want to see if you're on the right track and send me your outline or some of your dialogue, I will gladly look that over and give you some feedback if you want it or if you need it. So that's what we'll leave it there for now, and we're going to look at lesson 15. This is our last lesson for this unit, and the last time we'll be looking at both our movie and our not course novel, which was The Night Wanderer. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be writing a compare and contrast essay, either comparing similarities between the Twilight Saga Eclipse and The Night Wanderer, or noting some differences between them. So one useful after viewing strategy to check your understanding of the film as a whole is to complete a comparison of the film to another work. And while there's a novel version of this film, making that comparison between the movie and the novel would be a little bit too easy for a grade 12 course. So instead, we can look at when the movie has not been adapted from a novel, you can choose a novel with a similar theme or topic to compare. For example, if the novel The Night Wanderer had not already been written, you could examine another novel by a First Nations author and compare the portrayal of First Nations in that novel to First Nations in the movie. Sometimes a comparison is mostly about similarities, and other times, comparisons seem to mostly highlight the differences between the two works. When you're comparing the differences between two works, you're also referred to as the contrast. So we look at writing a compare and contrast paper. It's important to spend time planning your topic and organizing your information. The steps below will help you in the planning stage. So as you read or view, make notes about similarities or differences between the two works. A T-chart is a great way to organize this information. Once you have completed reading or viewing and taking notes, examine your own T-chart. Which category, similarities, or differences has more entries? The answer to this question will help you decide whether to write a comparison or a contrast paper. Once you've decided what type of paper to write, you're ready to begin organizing your information. Choose at least 3 points to discuss. Try to choose the points that you have the most to talk about. Use the organizational chart below to keep track of your ideas. So first you have the T-chart. What's similar, what's different? We're going to work through this tomorrow. And then we have the organizational chart, which has in Twilight Eclipse, what happens? What's similarity, what's the difference? In the novel Night Wanderer, what's similar, what's different? How are these similar, different? What's the comparison? And why is this important? This category here is probably the most important one on there, because you have to tell me, why should I care about this? Why should I care that this is similar? Why should I care that this is different? Once you have this chart done, you're ready to begin drafting your paper. To produce a draft, write your introduction to try to entice your reader to want to read more by interesting them in the topic on the first sentence or two. Next, provide your topic sentence or your thesis outlining what you will be discussing in the entire paper. The next one says, write your body. Use the 3 points you chose when planning and write your ideas into complete sentences. Try to provide as much proof as possible from the novel and the movie. And then write your conclusion. Restate your main idea and then provide reader with something about the topic to consider. Revise your draft. Check your spelling and grammar, organization and coherence and strength of your ideas. And then type your final copy of your paper for marking. And leads into key question 45. Last key question for this unit. It says, now look at the movie that contains both a First Nations storyline as well as a novel that was written by First Nations author. In both these media forms, First Nations are featured as prominent characters in their respective stories. Your final task is to compare and contrast the movie The Twilight Saga Eclipse and the novel The Night Wanderer. What is similar about the two media forms? What is different? Work through the different steps in writing a compare and contrast essay as you explore this topic. So create a T-chart similar to the example in the lesson, listing the similarities and the differences between the novel and the movie. That's for 5 marks, just for doing the T-chart. Decide whether you're going to be focused on the comparisons, the similar, or the contrast, or what's different. This will become the thesis of your essay. 3 is now that you know what you're going to write about, copy the organizational chart and use it to plan your body paragraphs. You will need to have at least 3 body paragraphs, but you could add more if you want. Each body paragraph should focus on one similarity or difference. 4 says write your rough draft on lined paper. Write your thesis, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Your essay should be at least 1 page long and should be double spaced. And for 5 marks. So far you've got your pre-writing and your first draft, and you're up to 20 of 65 marks already. Then you have to edit your rough draft. You can identify your corrections in your rough draft and write the margins or between the lines what you're going to change. Circle, put a line through any words you're going to remove or replace. For the editing checklist to help you revise your work. And then finally, type the good draft your essay. It should title in proper format and be double spaced. So the important thing with this, if you want to do your rough draft, if you want to do it on lined paper, that's completely fine. However, your good draft must be typed. If you want to do it like we did with key question 43 and type out your rough draft, that's completely fine as well. The choice is up to you, but I just need to be able to see your rough draft and see any changes that you made to it between that and your good draft. And your good draft is worth a total of 40 marks. There's editing checklist right here. It's the exact same checklist that we looked at back in key question 43 in lesson 13. And that's it, and that's what end for tonight. We will work through this key question tomorrow. We'll do our T-chart, we'll do the fill in the graphic organizer, and we'll start writing our draft. We'll probably spend all of tomorrow doing that. Our makeup class is at 10 o'clock on Friday. We'll be looking at lesson 16 of unit 4, and that's it. We'll probably just have a 1-hour class, and then we will look at lessons 17, 18, 19, 20 next week, and that's it. Any questions, be sure to give me a call. Other than that, thanks everyone for listening. I'll talk to everybody again tomorrow. Till then, have a good night, miigwech, and bye for now.